So when working with our user functions, we've got forward, reverse, and stop. Those are the ones that we're pretty used to. And you can see from our code right here, we've got forward, wait, and stop. All three of those associate themselves with the forward command. So that's going to be forward for 1 second and then stop. And really all the robot has done is gone forward and then stop. So what we're going to do is we're going to abbreviate that. We're going to take forward, wait, and stop, and we're going to make them into one function. One function, and that function is going to help us shorten all of our code and make it easier to understand how long something is going for forward or how long something is going in a direction. This is going to be our super user functions. So I'm going to right click on user functions and add a new function, and we're going to give it a name. This name is going to be move straight. And we're going to give it some arguments to go inside. And so we're going to set up our first one. It's going to be an integer, and that's going to be called speed. Our next one, let's click on those arrows. Next one is going to be an integer, and it's going to be wait. And once I've set those two, I'm going to press OK. So what that's done is that has created two variables that we need to put in when we make the move straight command. So every time we do the move straight command, we need to input the speed and the wait time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the code from our forward command, shift select, click on the bottom one, let go of shift, right click, copy. So once you've pasted it in line, what we're going to do is we're going to edit each of these. So I'm going to double click on this, and I'm going to use a user value. Notice this one is negative, so negative to go forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go -1 times speed. And that was that variable that we used and we created in the beginning. So it's going to be the opposite. So if I tell it 100, that's going to go -100, which is in the forward direction. Motor 2 needs to be positive, so I'm just going to use speed, which is my variable. Same thing again, -1, which is going to be the opposite of our value. And then here we're just going to use speed. All right, and so that means if I type in a positive number, it is going to go forward. If I type in a negative number, it is going to go backwards. And so that's going to tell us move straight. And then what we're going to do is, remember in our main code, we had our move forward, and then we had our wait command. Well, we're going to take this wait, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it right here. And this time, instead of the number, it's going to be whatever I input. That way we can reuse this command over and over again. So whatever that wait time is, let's say it's 2000, it's going to do this for 2000, and then it's going to stop. And so I grab my stop command, copy, paste. This one's going to be the exact same. And then just to keep a little bit of space in between all of my functions so it doesn't go boom, 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 boom with all of them, I'm going to grab another wait command, put it here, and I'm just going to have it wait for 100 in between. So every time it switches between those, it's going to wait for 100, hopefully give the motors just a little bit of time to relax, maybe some inertia and momentum to stop. And so this is what this is going to do. It's going to go forward or backwards depending on what my speed is. If my speed is positive, it'll go forward. If my speed is negative, it'll go backward. It'll go in reverse. It's going to wait for however long I told it to wait, and then it'll stop for a brief moment, and then it'll move into the next part. So in my main, I can replace these things right here. I'm going to right click and I'm going to comment out the block. Just like we've done with other coding, all this does is just tell the computer, skip that. It's easier than us deleting things. We can actually just right click and comment out, and that allows us to skip those and see how functional they were in the first place. I'm going to grab my move straight command. When I drop it in replacing those, it's going to ask for, you see it says speed. What's the speed I'm going to choose? I'm going to choose 120, and the wait time, let's do 1000. So now it's going to have move straight at a speed of 120 and then for a time of 1000. From there, if I wanted to, I could have it. Let's go ahead and copy and paste that block. I can have it do the same thing, but now I can have it go slower. Let's go slower and in reverse. Let's go negative 180 and let's go for 2000. All right, so because it's negative, I know it's going reverse. Because it's positive over here, it's going straight. This helps me abbreviate all of this code. I think I took almost 3 lines away, so it was 4 lines, now it's 1 line. It does move straight, and so I would do a move straight command, I would do a turn command, and I would just make sure that whatever I chose, positive would be in one direction, negative would be in the other direction. I could do a tight turn command, I could do a wide turn command, using the same input, and really abbreviate and shorten. It also makes more sense when you read this. Move straight, this is my speed, that's my duration, that's going to go straight for. Hope this helps with our super user functions.